Here's another histogram video. In this one we're going to complete the table and graph this, so we're going to draw the histogram for it. Firstly, we'll construct the histogram and then we will work on here. So always on the y-axis we're going to have the frequency density. Okay, let's put that just like so, and then along the x-axis we're going to have the class widths. So we're going from 90 to 140. So if we do 90, that's going to be 100, 110, 120, 130 and 140. Okay, and then we will just label this up. Now remember, this is continuous data down the bottom, and we've got strict inequalities on them. So the first interval right here is going to be, and see on these they've got a different class width, so they're uneven or unequal widths. So this point right now is going to be the 90, so greater than 90 but less or equal to 100. And then this one is going to be the 100 to 105, and I'll leave out the notation, but we would employ exactly the same notation. And then the next one is going to be 105 to 115, so this one is now be 10. So 105, greater than 105, greater than 105, less or equal to 115. The next one is only 5 big, and that's for 115 inclusive of to 120. Inclusive of 120, exclusive of the 115, and then we've got the 120 to 130. Again, excludes the, it's a strict inequality, so it excludes the 120, does include the 130, and then finally the 130, which is not included, and the 140, which is. Now frequency density, we'll start at 0. Now what I'm going to do, I'll call this one 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1, and this should just about squeeze us on it. Well, depends it. We should be okay with these ones looking at them. 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, and 1.8, and if required, somewhere up here 2. So let's have a look at this. Now what we know and what we've learned in the first tutorial, which I think is important for you to watch if you haven't done it, is that frequency density is frequency divided by class width. Class width is going to be frequency over frequency density, and then frequency is the two multiplied together, class width multiplied by frequency density. All they are just basically rearranging the formula. If you remember one, you can move it around and get the others. So now let's have a look at this one. What we're going to do, frequency density 0.5, we can draw this fairly straightforward. Let's do 0.5. So the class width is going to be, we got 10, and this is going to be 0.5, so it's going to look something like that, give or take. Apologies if this isn't going to be absolutely bang on with the accuracy because of the positioning of the paper. So there's 0.5. Now remember that number of plants is a frequency. So frequency is frequency density times class width. So 0.5 times by 10, and we're going to have 5 plants. Next one. We've got a frequency density of 0.8, and we've got this time the class width of, 5. So up to 0.8. And then across and down. So we know on this now that to work this out, we're going to have, we want the frequency, which is this one, so it's frequency density times by class width. So 0.8 times by 5 will give you 4. So 4 plants in that one. Now let's look at the next one. This is 10, what am I looking for? Frequency density, that's the word, words. So we've got 1.6, so that's somewhere up here. And then we're going to go across. And remember, this one is going to be 10 wide, and then we come down here. We want to work out the frequency. Well, frequency we now know is frequency density times by class width. So we've got 10 times 1.6, which is 16. They've been kind enough to do all of the next one for us. So what we're going to get on this one, 115. and this looks like it's going to fit in quite nicely. So 115 is going to be 1.6. So 105, which one are we on? Sorry, we're on this one, aren't we? 115, so we want that to be 1.8. So there we go, up to 1.8, that's the frequency density, and we know that there's 9 people in there. Now the next one, we need frequency density. So remember, frequency density is frequency divided by class width. Frequency is 12, the class width is 10, so the frequency density is going to be 1.2. And I'm going to take a bit of a liberty here and wade through the table, because I have a feeling if I move that, it isn't going to want to do what I want it to do. And then we come down. And then finally, we need the frequency density on this one. Frequency density is frequency divided by class width. So frequency for class width is 10, 4 divided by 10 is 0.4. So all we need to do is do that one. 0.4. And there we go. So there's our histogram, okay? So all complete, unequal continuous data along the bottom, unequal class widths. Frequency density is always going to come up here, and if you can remember these nice straightforward formulae and just move them around, I still live off these. Maybe it's a weakness, but all I know is if I want to find the class width, I can do the frequency over frequency density. If I want the frequency, class width times frequency density.